discuss the friction and circular motion. You see the notes. See, first of all, you can see in inside the book, problem number 5.2, they asked to calculate the force. So, the given data are u, initial velocity 90 meter per second, and m, mass given in 0.04 kg, and distance covered, that is 60 centimeter, that is into meter means 0.6, and what the final velocity is 0. So, what is the force acted on the gun? Sorry, on the bullet. So, you know the formula v square equal to u square plus 2as, but they are a is opposite. So, u square equal to minus 2as. So, we can write a equal to u square by 2s, substitute the value, and you can get a equal to minus 6750 meter per second square. This is the acceleration. They asked the retarding force. So, force is nothing but mass into acceleration. You know mass 0.04 into acceleration 6750, can get 270 Newton. The same way can go for the 5.3 problem. They given displacement y equal to ut plus half at square. So, f equal to ma. They asked what is that? Acceleration. So, first of all, you differentiate with respect to t, that is that will give us a velocity, that is dy by dt equal to u plus gt. Clear. So, this is a way you can calculate the force. They asked one more time you have to differentiate with respect to velocity, with respect to time. Velocity is what do you call? Velocity is differentiate with respect to time. Then you can get the acceleration. Then finally you can get what's that f. Next one, conservation of momentum. See, in the case of conservation of momentum, I told you, you know, conservation of energy. That means the energy neither be created nor be destroyed. Same way, momentum also conserved, not it's a constant. For example, F is a force on a bullet, minus F is a force on the gun. Suppose according to second law, the F into del T, that is change in momentum on the bullet, minus F in del T, that is a change in momentum in gun. I mean F into del T is nothing but that. I mean in the from the Newton's second law. So PB is the momentum of the bullets, that is PB, PG momentum of the gun after recoil. So according to Newton's third law, PG should be equal to minus PY. Am I right? So you can write that PB momentum of the bullet plus momentum of the gun, that should be equal to 0. My total momentum equal to 0. That is the thing. So total momentum of the system is conserved. So total momentum of an isolated system of interacting particle is conserved. And then next one, for example, colliding for two bodies. Suppose consider A is a mass of A is object, mass will be m, B is another one body with a momentum B PB. See, before collision they have some momentum, after the collision they have some momentum and they move with some other direction. By second law, F del T, F of AB del T should be equal to P dash of A minus PA. Clear. PA and PB are the momentum before collision. P dash A, PB dash B are momentum after the collision. The same way, F of BA, I mean force acted on B by A, that is FBA del T equal to P dash B minus P dash B, P dash B minus PB. So consider common internal of time for the both bodies in contact at the time T. FAB should be equal to minus of FBA. Then you can substitute, you can get what's that P dash A plus P dash B equal to PA plus PB. So this is a way you can check the conservation of momentum. And next one, equilibrium of a particle. The net external force on the particle is 0. That means they consider the two forces F1 and F2 act on the particle, keeps equilibrium. That means F1 should be equal to minus of F2. Equilibrium under the three concerned force means, concurrent force means F1, F2, F3 requires the vector sum of the three forces is 0. That means In the diagram, F1 is acting one direction, F2 is acting another direction, but F3 is resultant force of the sum of the two forces. For example, you can see F1 of x plus F2 of x plus F3 of x equal to 0. I mean, in x-axis, in the case of x-axis, sum of the force is 0. In the y-axis also 0. The same way z-axis also the same thing. So compared to this one, you can see the component of F1 where F1x, F1, F2, F1x, F1y, F1z are the component of F1, F2 and F3 along XYZ direction. See the same way F 5.6 problem is given based on the equilibrium of the particle. Based on the concept they given the problem. Here also same way you can consider the equilibrium of weight W equal to Z. The same way T2 equal to 6 into 10, that's equal to 60 Newton. Consider the equilibrium of point P under the action of the three forces. So T1 and T2 and horizontal force 50 Newton. So horizontal and vertical component of resultant force vanish. So we can write what's it? T1 cos theta should be equal to T2 equal to 60 Newton or T1 sin theta equal to 50 Newton. And next one, I can divide tan. I mean, we want to calculate the tan theta. So you know sin theta and cos theta. You just divide the two equations. You get the tan theta only. In the case tan theta equal to 5 by 6 or theta equal to tan inverse of 5 by 6 or 40 degree. Right. Now we can see the friction. See in mutual contact force, the component of contact force normal to the surface is called normal reaction, or the component of contact force parallel to the surface is called friction. See the diagram. One force acting vertically upward, that is a normal force. But the force, I mean vertical component of normal force is reaction, but horizontal component of normal force is called friction. So the friction is acting vertically, actually horizontally. And next one, based on that, we can go for that when there is no applied force. So there is no static force. In the case of static friction, what is that? The applied force increases, static force also increase up to a certain limits. Hence, keep the body at rest. This is known as static friction. It opposes the impending motion. I mean, the static friction opposes the impending motion. Impending is nothing but up to that the particle will not move. Right. Suppose applied force exceeds a certain limit, the body begins to move. In the same way, so the limiting value of the static friction is independent of the area and the normal force N. So the static friction Fs is directly proportional to N, normal force. So we can write it's a directly proportional. Equate means you put some constant mu s into N. Fs equal to mu s into N. So mu s is constant of proportionality, depends on nature of surfaces. And then mu s is a coefficient of static friction. So law of static friction written like Fs is less than or equal to Fsn. In the same way, you can go for the kinetic friction. Applied force is more than the static friction, where object starts to move, hence frictional force opposes the relative motion between the surfaces in contact is called sliding friction or kinetic friction. Kinetic friction denoted by Fk. Kinetic friction also independent of area of contact and velocity. So we can write Fs directly proportional to N, or we can write Fk equal to mu k into N. Mu k is nothing but it's a coefficient of kinetic friction, and mu k is less than the relative motion as weakened. For example, acceleration of the body A equal to F minus Fk by m. So the relative motion between the two bodies. So the static friction provides the same acceleration to both the bodies. The same way you can see the example 5.7 also they discussed. Next one, rolling friction. In the case of rolling friction, the body like a ring or a sphere shaped bodies are rolling without slipping over a horizontal plane will suffer no friction. That means In ideal situation, kinetic or static friction is zero and the body showed continue to roll with a constant velocity. Suppose we consider some sphere roll on horizontal plane, the net effect, net effect of the component of the contact force parallel to the surface opposes the motion. So numerically, friction does have negative role, but it opposes the relative motion and thereby dissipate power in the form of heat. Dissipate means loss. I mean, it opposes the motion of the body. So they have some dissipation of power in the form of heat. But reduction of friction, how will you reduce the friction? By using lubricants. It's one of the way we can reduce the friction in a machine. And second thing, ball bearings also used to reduce the friction. Suppose ball bearings are used between the two moving parts of the machine is another way. And next one, rolling friction between the ball bearing and surfaces in contact is very small, so the power dissipated is reduced. A thin cushion, third point is a thin cushion of air maintained between the solid surfaces in relative motion is also another effective way of reducing friction. So in daily life, friction is necessary. For example, in walking, a car can move in a slippery road where the friction also necessary in daily life. So next one, circular motion. In the case of circular motion, I am going to discuss only two things. One is level road, another one is banked curved road. For example, in the case of in this case of circular motion, acceleration of a body moving in a circle of radius r with the uniform speed v is v square by r. Already I derived this equation. So a equal to v square by r, you know that. According to second law, Newton's second law, F equal to ma or F equal to m into a means what's v square by r. So you can write v square by r. So the force is directed towards the center is known as centripetal force. So for example, the stone rotated in a circle or the planet move around the sun. These are all examples for the circular motion. If you see the diagram, from the diagram you see the first diagram shows that when the car move in a circular road. In the level road means what the second diagram told that what's in the second diagram, the weight of the object or car is acting vertically downwards, equal force is acting vertically upwards. And also the force is acted between the wheel of the vehicle and the road. That is called a frictional force that always acting horizontal. I told you already the horizontal component of the N is called a friction. Am I right? Normal force. The same way, suppose third diagram shows suppose when a body or a vehicle move in a banked road, what happened? The weight of the body acting vertically downwards, mg, and the opposite. I mean, when you according to the third law, every action should have a equal but opposite reaction. So the reactive was acting vertically upwards. But here I showed that the N normal force is resolved to two component. One is N cos theta and another one is N sin theta. N cos theta vertically acting upward and horizontal component of N cos theta is acting horizontally. The same way frictional force also resolved to two type. One is F sin theta and F cos theta. F cos theta acting horizontal and F sin theta acting vertical downward direction. Now we can see the diagram. For example, if the car move in a road, what happened? The normal force acting vertically upward. I told you already the N cos theta. N is resolved to component. N cos theta and N sin theta. N sin theta acting horizontal. N cos theta acting vertically upward direction. The same way frictional force is resolved to two type. One is F cos theta and F sin theta. F cos theta horizontal direction. F sin theta vertical direction. So motion of the car in a level road. Here there are three forces acting on the car. What are that? One is weight mg, second one normal reaction, and third one frictional force. Here, as there is an no acceleration in the vertical direction. I mean horizontal direction only we have some acceleration. In vertical direction no acceleration. So we can write n minus mg equal to 0 or n equal to mg. In the same way, the centripetal force required for circular motion is along the surface of the road and provided by the component of contact force between the tire and the road. I told you. So that the friction provides the centripetal force. Friction provides the centripetal acceleration. So the static friction opposes the impending motion of the car moving away from the circle. So F is less than mu s n, r is equal to m v square by r. Finally, you can write v square from the relation. What is the v square? That is less than or equal to mu s n r by m, or v square equal to what is that? Mu s r g, or v equal to square root of mu r g, where n equal to mg. Clear? Which see here velocity is independent of the mass, which is independent of mass of the car. Velocity is independent of the mass of the car, where v is directly proportional to mu s or directly proportional to r. Finally, we can write v equal to square root of mu r g. So this is a velocity you have to maintain in the level road. When you are moving a circular path in a level road, means you have to maintain this is a condition for velocity. But motion of a car in a banked road. What is the need of banked road? Suppose we are moving a banked road, the road will provide the sufficient friction, so it will use it to avoid the friction. For example, the road will give sufficient friction, that such a way they construct the road. What is a banked road? See, the road is constructed, the outer edge of the road is raised from the inner edge of the road. So this is the way they construct the road. This is called a banked road. Banked road. So we can reduce the contribution of friction to the circular motion if the road is banked. Then since the acceleration act along the vertical direction, since no acceleration act vertical direction but horizontal direction only they are acting, so n cos theta equal to, from the diagram, n cos theta equal to what's that? Mg plus f sin theta. You can see the diagram. See the n cos theta, right? The upward direction is, the n cos theta should be equal to what is that? Mg plus f sin theta. Am I right? In the same way, second equation, the horizontal component f cos theta and n sin theta, sum of these two forces should be equal to centripetal force. So this is the way I write here. See, n cos theta equal to mg plus f sin theta. The centripetal force provided by the horizontal component of the n and f. So n sin theta plus f cos theta equal to m v square by r. If suppose we consider f equal to mu s n, static friction, so we can use the f, substitute the value of f, then you can get the another third and fourth equation, n cos theta equal to mg plus mu s n sin theta. Another one equation, n sin theta plus mu s n cos theta equal to m v square by r. From the two equation we can derive n equal to mg by cos theta minus mu s sin theta. Substitute the value of n in the fourth equation, we can get what's that? Mg cos theta by minus mu s sin theta plus mu s n cos theta equal to m v square by r. So from the relation we can derive v max equal to rg into mu s tan theta by 1 minus mu s tan theta power 1 by 2. So compare the equation of a level road and banked road. The maximum speed of the car on banked road is greater than that of the level road or flat road. So mu, suppose we consider mu is equal to 0, v naught equal to rg tan theta power 1 by 2. Also v is less than v naught. That means the frictional force will be up the slope, and that car can parked only if tan theta is less than mu s. So this is a condition for the I will park the car in the banked road. So this is a way you can read and take the notes. I will give another video with another concept. Thank you.